Stewardship with SNB. Stewardship with SNB.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program Stewardship with SMB, live from the studios of Rstv here in Port Harcourt. My name is Solomon Nelson Braid. Well, every one of us is aware of what is happening in River State. So it is no new story to tell that the political crisis in River State remains unabated, with the pro-Wike group trying to fashion out new ways of doing its own thing, whereas the pro-Fubara group is now silent for whatever reasons they know best. But the president appointed a sole administrator for River State, who has stayed for about a fortnight plus now, that's 2 weeks plus. But the developments seem to be very, very uncomfortable with some Rivers people who may be complaining about the situation with what they've seen play out on ground. The sole administrator has a single or sole mandate to keep the peace in River State. I believe that's what Mr. President instructed him. He's a retired military officer, very senior, retired as Vice Admiral, of course. And so many people are wondering that some of the things that are unfolding now, is it part of the mandate that was given to the sole administrator? You know, many are saying that it was not just to keep the peace, and that's why he was appointed. So what is happening now that we're seeing the actions of an elected governor who is in charge of the state? You know, and there are some elements of the pro-Wike group hobnobbing with the sole administrator and of course his team. So, but those hobnobbing with the sole administrator are indeed Rivers people. But which of the groups do they belong to? Is it the pro-Wike group? Is it the pro-Fubara group? This is what we're going to dissect on this program, Stewardship with SNB, live from the studios of Rstv Port Harcourt. Don't forget, this program is viewed on our social media handles such as YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. We are only on GoTV channel 142, and these are the platforms on which you can access us. I'll just take a short break, and when we return, I'll tell you more about the happenings in River State. Stay with us.
Stewardship with SNB. Stewardship with SNB. Stewardship with SNB.
All right, if you've just joined us, the program is Stewardship with SNB from the studios of Rstv in Port Harcourt. Don't forget that as soon as the sole administrator took over the mantle of leadership in River State, he dismantled all democratic structures, which means that all the structures left behind by the elected governor of River State, Sir Siminala Ifubara, were dismantled. You know, were all dismantled to give way for perhaps other things that we do not know until yesterday or so, when the news flew in a government release signed by the Secretary to State Government. The administrator of River State, Vice Admiral Ite Ibas, has dissolved the Civil Service Commission, dissolved Local Government Service Commission, and also dissolved RSEC, the River State Independent Electoral Commission. So also, he, in the statement read in part that all government appointees of parastatals and agencies should also go home. Well, it doesn't surprise some of us who already know that where there's a military rule, the constitution is immediately suspended. This is what we're seeing play out now. So virtually all the democratic structures that were put in place by Governor Siminalayi Fubara were pulled down by the administrator of River State, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas. The question every Rivers man and every right-thinking Nigerian is asking is that, was this part of the mandate given to the sole administrator upon his appointment? Was it part of the mandate? Well, I want us to meet some of the people that the sole administrator has appointed, especially the 23 local government areas. The sole administrator has appointed administrators of the 23 local government areas. I thought also that the Supreme Court has put an end to caretaker committee at the local government areas. Is this another way of installing caretaker committee? Or is it in line with the military administration? Is it in line with the constitution? These are questions that are begging for answer. So it will interest you to meet some of the sole administrators appointed by the sole administrator of River State, the 23 local government area administrators. We'll meet them. In case you don't know their names, let's read out their names so that we can follow as we make progress. For Abua Odua local government area, Mr. Okroyobi Animete is appointed as administrator of that local government area. And then for Ahoda East local government area, we have Mr. Goodluck M. Ihena Chop for Ahoda East local government area. Mr. Promise Jacob is for Ahoda West local government area. Dr. Tamnotonye Peters is for Akukutoro local government area. Surveyor Atajit Francis, Andone local government area. Barrister Ibiapuye Charles, Asaritoro local government area. Mr. Kingsley N. Banigo, Boni local government area. Dr. Sukari Ibifuro Francis, Degema local government area. Dr. Gloria Obo Dibia, Eleme local government area. Barrister Franklin P. Ajanwan, Emoha local government area. Dr. Onyenachi S. Wankwo is for Eche local government area. Others include Professor Gospel G. Be is for Gokana local government area. Mr. Isaiah Christian Nobwau, Ikwele local government area. Dr. Barinedum Wibere for Kana local government area. Dr. Clifford Indu Walter, Obiakwa local government area. Dr. Chukuma Ajay is for Oba Ebe Mindone local government area. Eliel Owokri is for Oguboro local government area. Mr. Thompson Isodiki is Okrika local government area. Manager Ikechi Wala is for Omuma local government area. And then Mr. Fred Apiafi is for Opobo Nkoro local government area. Also on the list are Mr. Elector Ihenacho is for Oyibo local government area. And then Dr. Sam Kalabo is for Port Harcourt local government area. Mr. Nuka O.S. Bepa is for Tai local government area. And then we have the last set of names, but not the least, as all right. So these are the names as approved by the Ibot Ete administration of River State. Also, let's meet members of the River State Independent Electoral Commission. We have them here as control room. You may kindly display that list. Let's see. This is for River State Independent. Okay, that's it. All right, so let's look at them. Dr. Michael Pai Ode is the chairman of the River State Independent Electoral Commission. Members are Mr. Lezansi Lene Tobira is a member. Professor Dr. Arthur Wanfo, member. Professor Godfrey Woki Mbu Dioha, member. Professor Dame Joyce Akaniwon, member. Dr. Mrs. Olive A. Bruce, member. And Professor Chidi Holiday, members. All right, so these are some of the names and appointments the sole administrator has made public to Rivers people. And of course, it has formed a huge talking point. He can trust Rivers people and Nigerians. You know, so the question everybody is asking at this time is that how did Ibot Ete Ibas come about with these names? He's not a Rivers man. He was appointed by Mr. President to oversee affairs in Rivers State. So how did he? Let's take it from the local government administrators that have been so appointed. If you take a critical look at them, they were drawn from, most of them, from the academia, you know, which is a plus to Rivers State. They were drawn from the academia, and they are technocrats, so to speak. You know, a fine decision taken by Ibotete. But the question is, how did he come about with these names? Does he really know them? Was he the one that produced the list? Who produced these lists to Mr. Administrator? That's the question everyone's asking. And that appointing these fellows is not a problem, because they are all Rivers names. None of these names is from a neighboring state. They are all Rivers people. But what bothers Rivers people and others alike is that how did Ibotete come about with these names? Is it that the pro-Fubara group supplied these names to him? Or is it that the pro-Wike group made available these names to him? You know. So it's a question that is begging for answer, as I've earlier read out. If you take a look at these are the names of the local government administrators that may be sworn in soon and very soon to take care of the third tier of government, which is the closest tier of government to the people. And so, in all of these, who are the sufferers of the actions and inactions of the political gladiators? Is it for themselves alone or for the ordinary people? Are they acting for themselves alone or for the ordinary people? Because if a government does not consider the ordinary people, if leaders do not worry themselves with the ordinary people, then they have failed in their bid to offer leadership. The most important thing is that as a leader at all strata of life, whether at your family level, whether at your village level, or your community level, the state, national, Nigeria, or the world, when you're leading a set of people and you do not consider their interests first, then your failure has just begun. So the question we're asking now is that with what is unfolding, the melodrama that is unfolding in Rivers State, who are those benefiting and who are the sufferers of the actions and inactions of these leaders? Will it be proper that the gladiators fight and then share the commonwealth of the people, you know, amongst themselves, whereas the people wallow in abject poverty? Of what benefit will it be for our leaders in the state to do all of these? When will the troubles in River State stop? When will the melodrama stop? When will people give a chance to reasoning? This is what everybody's asking. If you take a look at the Civil Service Commission list, they are Rivers people. So it is with the local government administrators. And of course, the Local Government Service Commission as well. They are all Rivers people. And they come down to RSEC, they are all Rivers people. So how did the administrator come about with these names? Is a question everybody's asking. How did he come about with these names? Who are those who supply these names to him? Or is the administrator one-sided? Is he looking at the issues from one angle? Many have thought that as he came in, as he took over the reins of power, perhaps he would have assembled the feuding parties for truce, for peace, to a roundtable discussions, to fashion the way forward for the development, of course, the overall development of Rivers State. But we haven't seen all of that. We haven't seen all of that. The sole administrator has also confessed in his public statements that as he came into Rivers State, he saw peace. There is peace and tranquility. There is nothing to worry oneself about. Even the project sites that he visited, projects executed by Governor Fubara that he visited, he made some high-level commendations that the government of Sim Fubara has actually done its own part. It is now time for the contractors to live up to the expectations of government, meaning that he is also on the same page with the suspended governor of Rivers State, Governor Sim Fubara. So, many are of the opinion that there is more to it than what the eyes can see. So we are asking. That's the administrator. I think on a tour of some. Yeah, this was his first visit to the reconstruction of the River State House of Assembly. And maybe if the control room can allow us, we can just hear him make one or two statements, and then we can come back to the studio. Yeah, he visited this contract site, and then he commended. He didn't condemn it. He personally said that it was 80 to 90% completed, which means that there was a government in power. There was a government which was in charge of administering the people. Not only the people, but even the resources, and of course, the movable and immovable resources of River State.
So that I had been at the executive arm of the state governance structure, and
so that the legislature can be restored.
you're also aware that I had been at the executive arm of the state governance structure, and one of the pillars that is missing for now is the legislature, and for them to function effectively, they also need a place to work from. Perhaps I'm here to be sure that work is going on as expected, so that by the end of the 6 months, this place will be ready for those who need to use it. I think basically that's what it is.
The project has about 34 in-suite offices on a 2-story building with elevator, gallery, meeting room, and conference hall. Tamuno Barabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
Yeah, that was Ibokete, the administrator of River State, on a project tour of River State a few days after he came into River State. And we saw high-powered Rivers people, men and women in his company, including the embattled George Wiki, who, after resigning, blew hot and cold that the governor and Edison here, the governor's chief of staff, were the ones who sponsored the pulling down, the bombing of the now reconstructed State House of Assembly complex. That's a kettle of fish on its own. We will come to that maybe in later discussions. But we just spotted him in that video. Then he had not retired. He has not thrown in the towel. So he was still with the system. But immediately after he left the system, it was a different ball game we saw play out. So, if it is the pro-Wiki group that are supplying these names to Ibokite, the administrator of River State, then there's some sense of bias. Some sort of bias. Because Ibokite, who is an administrator of River State, should have known for himself that there are two warring parties in the case of River State. And if he must consult the stakeholders of River State, it must be a holistic one. A little to the left and a little to the right. But when you look at only what is coming from the left without looking at the right, then you're raising dust that will be too difficult to clear in the air. So, many are of the opinion that the pro-Wike group, headed by the Minister of the FCT, Yusuf Wike, may have submitted these names to Ibokite to announce. We are not querying the names of the people that are on that list, ranging from the Civil Service Commission, Local Government Service Commission, and of course the administrators for the 23 local government areas, as well as that of the River State Independent Electoral Commission. They are all gentlemen and women of Rivers descent. None of them is a non-Rivers man. But the question is, who drew the list and gave to Ibokite? Shouldn't Ibokite have consulted both sides? Because both sides constitute the stakeholders of River State, including I that is talking in this studio. We're all stakeholders in the state. Shouldn't Ibokite convoke an assemblage of River stakeholders to ask questions on what to do? Yes, I remember that the River State Council of Traditional Rulers were at a time invited to Government House for a parley. Now they don't exist again because they've also been dissolved. You know, in the days of Abacha and Babangida, you know, people thought that the way they were going about dissolution of political parties, you know, they could as well dissolve people's marriages. They can just go to one family and say, today I declare that man and woman, you're hereby dissolved, your marriage is hereby dissolved. So Ibokite came in and they dissolved all these democratically instituted structures, which include what we're seeing now, what you're seeing now on your screen, the River State Council of Traditional Rulers. He dissolved them. After meeting with them, he dissolved them. The question is it part of his mandate? Was it what Mr. President instructed him to do? Is it part of his mandate? If it is part of his mandate, in arriving at the list of various state agencies and parastatals, why has he consulted or considered only the pro-Wike group? That's what people are saying. People are saying that the list of names that were submitted to Ibokite emanated from the pro-Wike group. If that is anything to go by, then it would be unfair of the administrator of River State to look at only one side. We had earlier advised that as a leader, to be able to lead your people well, you must take a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. When that is not done, tongue will wag as it is wagging now. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dissect deeply into the Rivers melodrama, political melodrama, of course. Stay with us.
Stewardship with SNB. 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 Stewardship with SNB.
Members of the Senate Committee on Works were accompanied by the delegation of Julius Berger Nigeria PLC. They were in the state to carry out oversight on some ongoing federal projects in the state. Rivers State Administrator Vice Admiral retired Ebok Ete Ekwe Ebas said the process of preparing a new budget for the state is being concluded, but there is need for legislative backing and approval so that its administration can sustain uninterrupted socio-economic activities, provide vital infrastructure that will support the economic growth, boost productivity, facilitate access to essential services, and ultimately provide quality living for the people.
We recognize the restoration and development of infrastructure as foundational to achieving lasting peace, economic growth, and prosperity. I respectfully request the cooperation of your esteemed committee in securing the necessary federal support for our state's infrastructural projects. This includes both financial backing and the facilitation of speedy execution of federal projects that will contribute to our state's growth.
Vice Admiral Abbas explained that since assumption of office on the 20th March 2025, he has prioritized the restoration of peace and stability in Rivers State.
We are in the process of putting together a new budget that reflects our commitment to healthcare, education, social services, and the continued infrastructural development of our state. We have worked diligently to ensure that this process is transparent, inclusive, and most importantly, expedited.
Chairman of the Senate Committee on Works, Senator Bernarda Impigi, informed him that soon the stakeholders' engagement in Rivers State for those affected by the Coastal Road Project will be held, while also ensuring that the Board of Bonny Bridge and Road Project is completed. Tamuno Barabi Iglubo, Rstv News.
Stewardship with SNB. Stewardship with SNB.
Well, if you have just joined us, the program is Stewardship with SNB from the studios of Rstv in Port Harcourt. Earlier on, you watched the video of some National Assembly members, Rivers Caucus National Assembly members, who came to visit Ibokete, the sole administrator of Rivers State. Yeah, they were on a solidarity visit. So, but it also created another talking point because the caucus, the Rivers Caucus, which is made up of the senators and House of Reps members that came visiting Ibokete, are all pro-Wike group, are all members of the pro-Wike group. And a lot of people are asking the question, is that they never visited Governor Fubra throughout the nearly 2 years that he was in office before he was suspended. But now a complete stranger administrator appointed by Mr. President came, and they're here, or they were here, visiting the man and then giving him some words of encouragement and all of that. What does that entail? Many people are worried that it does appear to some of us that some persons are eating fat from this emergency rule, while some Rivers people are condemning it because of a truth. There is no scenario, there is no iota of truth in it that anything was wrong with Rivers State to precipitate the proclamation of emergency rule and of course appointment of a sole administrator to oversee the Rivers resources. Permit me to say this language. A stranger, a complete stranger, managing your resources. How do you feel about it? This is what the Rivers crisis has led us to. It has remained unabated. It has defied all logic and reasoning. It's not getting better by the day. One moment you woke up one morning, it's a new story you're hearing. Another day, another morning, a different story that will greet you. Good morning. So, what is the way forward? Then, saying about this, is this the best option to take in a bid to find a solution to the Rivers political melodrama? What is the way out? So let's broker peace in Rivers State. In brokering peace, what do? You bring two feuding parties together to a round table. If that is possible, they should explore such avenues. We hear some persons have gone to court. Well, they are there to exercise their rights. No individual can be stopped from exercising his right within the ambit of the law. Some groups and individuals have gone to court to challenge Mr. President for declaring a state of emergency and for appointing a military administrator to oversee River State. Don't forget, the man only removed his uniform in 2012 or so. Is it 2015 when he retired? I mean, in bucketing. So we are not saying that the situation should remain like this. For those who feed well, feed fat in crisis-ridden environment, to continue to feed on our God-given resources. The resources of River State is there for Rivers people. The resources of River State is for even the unborn Rivers child, that is the fetus. The resources of River State is for you that is watching me, wherever you may be. The resources of River State is for that child in school who does not have parents to take care of him or her in school because he has lost his parents. The resources of River State is for even I, who is in this studio, because I'm a bona fide citizen of River State. The resources of River State is for the market women. The resources of River State is for the market men. The resources of River State is for everybody who is doing business in River State. The resources of River State remains for over 5 million Rivers people that are inhabiting this land called River State. Why should we allow our resources remain in a stranger's hands? Because of our inactions and actions. Is that what we like? That in this democratic era, where the world is looking out for those who embrace democracy, to do business with them, are our business still flourishing? Are our businesses still flourishing? What about the foreign investments? We're looking at it from an economic point of view. What about the investments, the foreign investments that are expected to do well in River State? Are they there? Nobody will risk doing business with River State when there is a military rule in that area. Nobody. The international community is watching. America, which prides itself as the bastion of democracy, is also watching. What are the elders of the state saying? What are the human rights activists in the world over, in the nation, saying as it relates to River State? Now, such happening in River State. Well, the pictures you're seeing is the Rivers Caucus, which is made up of the Senate and the House of Reps. Some other friends of the National Assembly came visiting Mr. Administrator of River State. And we can see our Rivers lawmakers there who came on a solidarity visit. A lot of people have asked the question, throughout the period Governor Fubara was there, they never came. Now they are here because there's a military rule. In whose interest is this military rule? In whose interest is this emergency rule? Or is it a martial law? Are we under a martial law? Because we know that whenever and wherever a military government has taken place, the constitution of that land is suspended. The constitution that is governing the land is suspended. And then martial laws are marshaled out. You know, whether you like it or not, this is what we want you to do and you must do it. You can't challenge martial laws. But you can challenge the constitution if it is misapplied. But you can't challenge martial laws. Call the shots, of course, will declare the state of emergency. Have you wondered why Mr. Babangida went by the title Mr. President? Because it was old-fashioned. It was old-fashioned to go by the title Head of State. Head of State means that you have the military power to do and undo. So we're asking our leaders of thoughts in the state, we're asking the elders of the state, we're asking the well-meaning men and women, right-thinking men and women of the state, to begin to think out of the box to find a lasting solution to this political quagmire. Rivers people are not happy that one of their own is not governing them, even if it's for one day. There is no state of the federated units of this country, there is no state that is governed by a military personnel or a retired military personnel. Only River State. Is it not shameful? Only River State. I'm pretty sure that Ibokete, even as a military administrator, even as a retired military administrator, would not be happy with his compatriots in the state if they do anything to attract military rule in that state. I repeat, I'm pretty sure that the administrator Ibokete will not be happy that a military man or an ex-military man is ruling his own state, Cross River State. I'm pretty sure. So why should any Rivers man be happy? Why should any Rivers man be happy that it is a military, an ex-military man that's ruling the state? What is happening in River State is like your kitchen and your living room, your kitchen and your bedroom and your privacy. So somebody strolls in and then walks straight into your kitchen and makes his way to your pot of soup and ditches his hands into the pot of soup and takes whatever pieces of meat he likes. That's what it means. That's an analogy, a typical analogy of what is happening in River State. That our resources should be known to ourselves and to be spent by ourselves. Not a visitor, not a total stranger. Do we like what is happening to us? Do we like what is happening to us? Have we learned our lessons? Have we learned our lessons? Are there plots to extend this state of emergency by another 6 months at the expiration of this one? Are there indicators to threaten democracy further? What is happening to this state? Where are our leaders? Where are our elders? Where are our political juggernauts? Where are those who are said to be very powerful? What is happening? Do we like it the way it is? Many have likened the situation in River State to that great judgment in the Bible, where King Solomon, two women brought before him a living child and a dead child. And then they were all laying claim to the living child. So, a question was put by King Solomon to the two women. Now, would you like it, since you are laying claim to the ownership of this child, would you like it if I slice the child in two halves? I give you one half and you take the other half and go home so there can be peace. The one who is the cheater, the one who has no relationship with the child, the one who has no maternal relationship with the child, quickly said, "Oh, king, yes, I agree. Kill the child. Divide the child into two halves.